everyone, I'm Rincey and this is Rincey Reads. My video for today is inspired by a lot of different videos that I've seen throughout the booktube community, but specifically two that I watched today. One is from Chapter Stacks, who made a video talking about how she doesn't think reading slumps are actually a thing, and the other one was by Bookishly Meliza, who talked about the pros and cons of being on booktube. In Bookishly and Meliza's video, one of the cons that she mentioned is the pressure that booktubers feel to read a certain amount of books every month or every year, or just in general the pressure to always be reading. And in Chapter Stacks' video, one of the things she mentions is how she doesn't think reading slumps exist, because most of the time when people are talking about reading slumps, it's because they haven't read anything for a while, and so they say they're in a slump because they haven't finished a book. And the thing that is kind of the common thread through this video and a lot of videos that I've seen throughout booktube is this idea that we have to read a certain amount of books. I think with things like the 50 book challenge or read-a-thons, or even just being a part of the booktube community and talking about how many books you read each month or each year, anything like that, there's kind of this subliminal message throughout all of that, that if you aren't reading a certain amount of book, then you are failing as a reader or something like that. I know a lot of times when I see people doing wrap-ups or people talking about their challenge updates or anything like that, if they aren't where they need to be for the year, or if they've read less books that month or anything like that, they are disappointed, or they feel like they're failing at their challenges and all of these things. Or if you just aren't reading as much as everyone else seems to be reading, then again they feel like they aren't doing enough as a reader to read all of the books. I kind of hate that. Above anything else, I feel like reading should be a pleasure. Unless your job is to be a book reviewer, there is no requirement for you to read X amount of books every single year. Yes, I do reading challenges, and yes, I do read-a-thons, but the reason why I do them is because they push me or give me a creative way of keeping track of the books I'm reading. I never take them seriously, and I've almost always failed at the goals I set up for myself, but I never felt bad about failing at them. Just like Chapter Stacks mentions in her video, I also go through phases, and sometimes I am a reading machine devouring every book in my path, and sometimes I don't want to read at all, and I think that is absolutely okay. For the past week or so, I haven't been in the mood to read anything. All I really wanted to do with my free time is watch episodes of Scrubs and Gilmore Girls, and I have been doing that, and I'm okay with that. The fact that I haven't really read more than like 30 pages in the past week doesn't really bother me, because I know that nothing bad is going to happen to me if I don't, say, complete the 50 book challenge or read a book in a specific amount of time. Loving books doesn't ever mean that you have to read a certain amount every day, or you have to read a certain amount of pages or books every week. If you love books and you read 10 books a year, that's great. And if you love books and you read 100 books a year, that's also great. Neither one of those people is more of a reader than the other. Anyway, those are just my thoughts on this topic. I just felt like I had to put this out there because I feel like I see people putting themselves down for their reading habits, and I feel like once you start creating these sort of standards of what reading should and shouldn't be, you're taking everything you might love about reading out of it, if that sort of makes sense. Like, I know for me, as soon as I feel like I have to do something, it doesn't become fun anymore. It just becomes another chore or job that I have to accomplish, but reading should never be that for anyone. So let me know what you guys think. Have you ever felt any sort of pressure to sort of read a certain amount of books, or read certain books, or any sort of pressure related to reading at all? And if so, what have you guys done about it? Also, do you participate in reading challenges or anything like that, or do you abstain for them because you feel like they are just too much pressure? So yeah, that's all I have for now, and thanks for watching.